Hi, my name is Andrew Lee. I'd like to welcome you, Leanne, to your appraisal interview. So the purpose of today's interview is to discuss your past performances in the class and then look at those performances and evaluate the strengths and weaknesses. And then finally take this time and opportunity to establish a goal to start improving on those weaknesses and facilitating those strengths so you can become an even more efficient public speaker in any scenario, whether that be professional, public, or academic. So to get started, I had the opportunity to be your group member for the chapter assignment. Even before the presentation, my first impression of you was that you were someone who was very confident. Your confidence was visible in your presentation when you spoke loudly and clearly. This engaged your audience and it was well received by your audience. Another thing was your tone was very commanding, your voice was very commanding, where it grabbed your audience's attention. Another strength that I saw was that you were very well spoken. You weren't mumbling or rambling or saying or ah, and you made your information very comprehensible and you were delivering the necessary information that the audiences need or required. And these two characteristics, confidence and being well spoken, are characteristics that every public speaker should honestly have. Kind of another thing that I saw within your presentation was that your body language was extremely great. Your shoulders were back, you weren't slouching, you were sitting up straight, you weren't moving around. This is appreciated by your audience, but not only that, it's appreciated in other scenarios like in the workplace with your boss or manager or peers. It allows you to be more engaged within the conversation or presentation, and it shows the audience or the person you're talking to that you're engaged within the conversation as well. The only thing that I kind of saw that could be detrimental towards how great this presentation could be was your reliance on your note cards. There are moments when you're looking down a lot to kind of recap the information that you're talking about. There is also a huge moment when you're reading down at the card and presenting. This type of engagement is never good because you're losing eye contact, which immediately disengages you from your audience, and it shows you that you really don't know what you're talking about, and it creates a very inauthentic feeling towards the person you're talking to. They want to know that you know the information very well, or they know that you're someone they can rely on to get the correct information in a very fun and very comprehensible way. So a personal tip that really helps me with that is to memorize the main points on the note cards to a point where I don't have to constantly look down. So if I do get lost or if I do forget something, I remember the main points in my head, find the keywords on my note cards, and then go from there. Another thing that really helped is practice and repetition even before the presentation. Knowing what you're going to talk about and how you're going to use your cards is so helpful in really engaging with your audience and looking professional all the time during your presentation. I think these are things that you could definitely work on and things that probably aren't going to be too hard for you. But kind of to summarize everything down, we established your strengths and then your weaknesses. We figured out confidence, being well-spoken, and body language is huge for you. But we also saw that reliance on notes and outlines can be very detrimental. And hopefully you can use the tips that I gave you about practice and repetition and knowing your main points, and using that to propel you forward in anything that you do, professional or academic wise. Thank you and have a great day, Leanne.